Up+Adam.
Tractor systems are offline.
We are Beyond FM.
Beyond FM.
The future of broadcasting is here.
Up+Adam with Adam Montiel. It's community content from Concentrate. It's Up+Adam with Adam Montiel.
Some say life is where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Yes, some say life is just where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again.
All right, happy Monday. Thank you so much for being Up+Adam. My name is Adam Montiel. Oh, it feels good. The week, I don't know, I feel good. I feel good about this week. I hope you do too. Wrapped up a foodie media tour, thanks to my friends at Parker Sampay. Got to meet ladies, I was the only dude in the whole group, which was cool. I really liked meeting these gals. All over California. Writers, some, contributors to the LA Times, some freelance, some just do like wine and travel, like influencing stuff, like whatever. It was all over the place. But it was really cool to see, their impressions of local media. Well, the game is changing so much. Media is changing so much. Well, talk to someone who's still in print and thriving. I was like, that's great to hear. All you see and hear about print is that you talk about something more dead than radio. Goodness. So that was really cool to hear. The wine and lifestyle situation, but also to see the way like this area, SoCal, Paso, wine country, all of it, how it shines. And just the hospitality and like I do stuff here all the time. So I kind of had a little bit of a leg up when I'm doing all these things with this group, and maybe I might be a little bit more familiar with the people doing it, and they go, oh, hey, Adam, or, but I sat and enjoyed it all with them. And like Alex V, Nita Kunal Mittal had us all in their house, cooked a dinner, beef bourguignon in their home. Like, that's the coolest thing ever. I don't know what other regions bring in just 5-6 strangers, writers from all over the state, just have them in their home. It was really neat. So I want to thank Parker Sampay. I did a post on it and tagged everybody, but the Allegretto Vineyard Resort stayed there over my birthday through Friday. I don't know, the hospitality at a level that you just can't even understand. That place is so beautiful, and they just have a heart for like making every single person there feel like they're the most important person in the world. So Allegretto Vineyard Resort, just awesome. Their wines, well, they got Donnie Burns as their winemaker now. Their wines are incredible. He started making the wines there, Donnie Burns from Turtle Rock. He started making the wines there in 2023. So all those are starting to come out. Man, don't sleep on those Allegretto wines. Here's a hotel that could have just probably bought bulk wine on the market, stuck their hotel's label on it, like a lot of these places do. But no, not Doug Ayers. This guy is like the modern William Randolph Hearst, traveling all over the world, bringing things back in sea trains, moved by his eccentricity, his love for art. It's pretty cool. Even just go up there and for happy hour, or go have a meal there and walk the grounds. I would recommend staying there, but Allegretto Vineyard Resort, wow. All right, we got a big show. A really big show. We've all been to those seminars, right? You know the ones. Motivational music, a couple PowerPoints, maybe a free lunch, and then nothing. No follow-up, no results, just the day lost to quote-unquote inspiration. But what if there was a seminar, a half day that actually worked? It didn't just hype you up, it handed you a blueprint to level up personally, professionally. Well, that's what Amanda Wittstrom Higgins built with Drive. It's an elite half-day experience right here. It's actually in Paso that promises a 90% success rate. It's not just for wine people. It's not just for the wine industry. For anyone who's done being stuck and ready to execute. She's joining me in just a bit, so stick around for that. I'm really excited. I always love my conversations with her. And I'm really curious because this area, people get out of college here. They want to stick around. I moved here for radio, thought I'd move to another market, loved this place so much, wanted to stick around. And it's not an easy area to find full-time work in. But the wine industry here, if you're looking for a career change, I mean, we're outpacing the wine industry in California. We're outpacing where the wine industry is in places like Napa and Sonoma. It's incredible what we're doing here. So anyways, this event drive, not just about wine, even though it might be kind of aimed in those positionings, but it's going to be an interesting conversation. And we'll talk to Amanda about all of that. Okay, how about a take on yesterday's Super Bowl? Man, a lot of good defense, but I don't know. I was just very not into the game. And then we got a phone call from the CHP. Remember, a week prior to yesterday, we got rear-ended on the freeway because a homeless dude with a drunk homeless guy with his shopping cart decided it was a great idea to stop the freeway. And so everyone slams on their brake, as do we. As soon as we're like, oh, that was close, boom, hit from behind. So just a pain in the ass. It's like a newer car that we got, new to us. The whole thing is a gigantic pain in the butthole. So the cop, the CHP calls us yesterday during the game and it's like, pretty much just what you think. Nothing's going to happen to this guy. Cited really. Apparently you could jump on the freeway, stop the freeway, cause an accident, run your ass away, hit and run. That's what they called it. And nothing happens to you. In fact, they said, well, we're going to look, get this. This is so rich for California. We're going to charge him with stealing a shopping cart. I just like put my head in my hands. I'm like, this whole game, I'm not even into it anymore. Like, what is life right now? Really? Stealing a shopping cart, dude? Okay. So anyways, so the whole thing was just kind of like marred with this, just reminding you of how dumb California can be at some points and the way that we execute laws and punish people who break them, or I guess don't. It's, it's frustrating, especially if you are, you fall on the wrong side of that. So anyway, so that kind of just put a little bit of like but look, everyone's fine. Life is good. We move on. So we'll talk about so that's kind of like the mood I was already watching with the Super Bowl, but I was excited because look, let's be really honest about the Super Bowl halftime show. Before we get into Bad Bunny and the whole thing, the backup dancers, whatever, we got to cut through the noise. And by the noise, I mean two types of people. The ones who said, this is going to suck because it's not in English and never gave it a chance and didn't even watch it. And the other side, just really, let's be honest, just as annoying, who declared this is going to be the greatest halftime show of all time before a single second had ever aired. Both those camps can sit down, let's get real. Now let's talk Bad Bunny. He is by all accounts the biggest artist in the world right now. The numbers, Spotify streams, YouTube dominance, Grammy winner, artist of the year, dude's at the top. Again, that's not debatable. You can't question that. My friend Maggie Tillman from Alta Colina literally flew to Colombia just to see him a couple weeks ago. But here's the real test. Ask most people to name one Bad Bunny song. Nothing. I asked folks all last week, can you name one? Every age, lots of young people. Can you name one Bad Bunny song? I didn't get a single one. Not one. And even from like Cal Poly's, I asked a lot of people. So look, of course, that's just anecdotally. That doesn't really prove anything. I get it. But there is this weird disconnect. He's everywhere, but not everyone's like connected. And think of like when Michael Jackson did the Super Bowl. You asked, who's Michael Jackson? Like every single person could name when Michael Jackson did the Super Bowl, or even 1985, or even now, name one Michael Jackson. So everyone can do it. So when Michael Jackson was the greatest at that time, like the biggest person in the world with the streams, the records, whatever it is, the artist of the year, everyone knew who he was. That being said, now that Bad Bunny has that same title, billions of streams, this guy, he's all over the place. He is it. He is Taylor Swift last year, Bad Bunny. That said, it's a little bit of a disconnect, and I don't understand that. I don't get it. That being said, I gave the halftime show a fair shot. I watched the whole thing, and you know what? It was fine. Visually kind of felt like I was watching like a production of Grease. 1,000 dancers grinding in coordinated chaos. It was, and yeah, the ladies look great, but the sets kind of looked a little like the corn stuff. I don't know, just looked a little I don't know, looked a little meh. The vibe was pretty strong. Did I understand a word? Not really. I don't speak fluent Spanish, and yeah, I probably would have hit harder if I did. But that doesn't make me close-minded. Most people naturally respond to music in their own language. Like, that's not racist. That's reality. Still, I'm not going to deny the energy. That rhythm broke through. It broke through language. I felt it. But let's not pretend it was the greatest show of all time either. And let's also definitely not start making stuff up to convince people that it was the greatest thing of all time. Like that. Where did that come from? They're like, oh, he gave his Grammy to that 5-year-old kid who was in the headlines after his dad ran away and they detained him and stuff. That adorable little 5-year-old kid, I think it's like Conejo Ramos. This just made up. Like it was a child actor, but that was all over the place. Like everyone, oh my God, it was him. And they didn't even look to see. No, it wasn't. It was a completely staged moment. And do all little Mexican kids look the same? Like, how effed is that? You put them next to each other, they don't even look alike. Why do we need to invent heartstring backstories to make the event that much better? Why do we need to be told the event was so good? We should just know already, shouldn't we? So TMZ did a poll. 2/3 of folks actually preferred the alternative halftime show with Kid Rock. I didn't even see that one, but now I'm kind of curious. I wanted to watch the Bad Bunny one. And then on YouTube right now, they're neck and neck. Bad Bunny show right now, 19.4 million views. That's crazy huge. Wow. Kid Rock's got 19.5 million views. So yeah, both shows clearly hit for different audiences. So bottom line, I go props to both. I didn't watch the other one, but if you loved it, awesome. If it didn't hit for you, that's okay too. It doesn't make you a racist or anything. Just maybe next time, let's not crown something iconic or trash it for that matter before it even happens. Let's just watch it, feel it, and then call it like it is. I don't know, but I did like that, the house party vibes, the way it felt. And I wanted to give it a fair take. So there you go, halftime show. But the game, all right. I like the onion dip and the Trader Joe's chips a little bit more. So what else we got going on before we get into our chat? Oh, we've been doing some really cool things with Black History all month long. And I want to get into our third installation of that. Black History. Now, these are pieces, it's a quick reset. In show one, we set the frame. Black History isn't just firsts or struggle. It's builders, inventors, people solving real problems before anyone was even watching. In episode 2, we met Norbert Rillieux, a man who revolutionized sugar refining in 1846, nearly 20 years before slavery even ended. And his invention's still in use today. Which brings us to this, episode 3, because someone had to solve a different problem. How do you keep food from spoiling when it has to travel far and fast and hot or cold, right? His name, Frederick McKinley Jones. He was born in 1893 in Cincinnati. Orphaned at 12, this kid. No formal engineering degree, mostly self-taught, and yet by the time he was done, he held more than 60 patents. Over 40 of them were in refrigeration. But here's what people miss. Jones didn't just invent ideas, he built systems. He improved cinema sound and sold that patent to RCA. He worked on portable X-ray machines. He worked on radio transmission, even race car parts. This guy was in everything. But his real breakthrough was refrigerated transport. Along with businessman Joseph Numero, Jones co-founded Thermo King. Suddenly, food could travel long distances without spoiling. Meat, produce, medicine. And during World War II, his systems helped get food safely to American troops overseas. And that is no small detail. Look, armies don't run on inspiration. They run on supply chains, and Jones helped build one. So let's connect the dots. Rillieux made industry safer, more efficient before slavery even ended. Jones made modern food and medical logistics possible when the world was at war. So this is Black history that moves quietly, but in huge, loud ways. Holds everything up. Not symbols, but real systems. Next up, we're going to talk about the man who invented dry cleaning and used the money to fund freedom. This has been a really fun layer to look into and to research. I have thoroughly enjoyed it, and I've learned more about Black history than whenever I watch those little clips that they try and throw on that are just, I don't know, just kind of like, there's your Black history thing. No, I wanted to kind of dig deep and go, really peel the layers back, and this has been just eye-opening. So I hope you enjoy it too. Okay, before we get into our chat with Amanda Wittstrom Higgins, we'll talk about Drive and a lot more. If you live in SoCal, this one's for you. Paso Wine Fest, coming in hot, May 15th through 17th. And right now, locals get their first sip on a deal that is going to go down as smooth as a Paso blend. Through Friday, February 28th, San Luis Obispo County residents can score grand tasting tickets for just $99. Yeah, $99 to sip on over 100 Paso wineries in just one spot. The grand tasting, May 16th, Saturday, over 100 wineries, live tunes, food, Paso showing up only like Paso can to the Paso Event Center. If you want in for these discount tickets for locals, you got to buy them in person. You can do that at either the Paso Chamber on Spring or at the Slow Chamber on Monterey. Bring your local ID, because this one's just for the folks who call this place home. Now, after February 28th, that price jumps. So get in now and go to PasoWine.com for the latest. You can also go to AdamMontiel.com, where we have tickets there for you to win. AdamMontiel.com right off the homepage, and good luck.
It's Up and Adam with Adam Montiel.
All right, guest today, powerhouse in leadership, in wine, in impact, and she's got the receipts to prove it. Amanda Wittstrom Higgins is the founder of Full Cup Solutions, executive director of Dream Big, Darling, and the creator of Drive, a professional development event that doesn't waste your time, your money, or your mindset. This isn't motivational fluff. It's a half-day intensive designed to get real results, not just, motivational vibes. Whether you're a CEO, a teacher, a coach, or just someone who's ready to stop talking and start doing. This conversation's for you. Always love chatting with Amanda. Thank you so much for being Up and Adam.
Thank you, Adam. It's wonderful to be with you today.
It's great to chat with you. Look, we've all been to those seminars, the ones with inspirational slides, the pump you up speaker, the catered lunch, and then like nothing. We leave jazz and the magic kind of fades before we even really get to apply it. I'm curious, what broke inside you, or maybe clicked, where you said, no more fluff. I'm going to build something that, one, actually works and actually sparks people. And then, here we go. Drive is born.
Yes. So this is our 4th year of hosting the Drive event. And I am a sucker for those get you pumped up events, like a lot of the ones that you put on that actually just went to one last week, where you were one of the keynotes and you did an amazing job. I was so proud of you, Adam. But I think that when you are surrounded by a group of people in a highly engaged, highly curated environment, which is geared at helping you succeed, there's real magic in that. And the part that I sometimes feel is missing, that this really bridges that gap, is that, so what? What do you do now? So many of the events that we have in today's age are shouting information and content. But because of the world we live in, the answers are almost always present, whether that's through AI or a quick search on the internet. But activating is the hard part. So it's turning those ideas and solving those problems into action. And that's where Drive really sets itself apart, because of how the content is curated, the speakers that we have set up, and then the actual process of physically writing down and articulating your goals to people who are with you that day is hugely effective for accomplishing big things.
You've called out the old way seminars where people sit and get passive, predictable, and like we said, it can often be forgettable. When you're building Drive and when you're putting that together, how did you kind of reverse engineer the opposite of that experience? And what does engagement look like when the stakes are what they are and when we're trying to be as real as we can?
Absolutely, Adam. So in the wine industry in California, we've seen, it's a tough economy right now. There's a number of headwinds. And so when you're dealing with an industry that's got a number of headwinds and perhaps a group of producers, so it's easy to get frustrated when you're looking at data. And when you look at like the greatest athletes in the world, businessmen who broke the mold, anyone who's really gone out and done wonderful things, they always find that nugget of positivity or that sliver of hope that they can hang on to. And so if we look at everything, the industry might look bleak. But if you can focus in on what you're trying to do and the small actionable steps that need to be taken in order to get you there, that's how you win. I was watching a video on Usain Bolt. He was, like the fastest guy in the world, right? The sprinter. And he said, I trained for 4 years to run 9 seconds.
Yeah.
And so it's not simply the outcome that matters, it's the process. And usually the difference between good and great is the work you put in to the process and the people that you have around you that are executing at a very high level all the time.
Now, you're from the wine industry. You thrive in the wine industry. Is this just for people in the wine industry? Can people outside of it get from it as well? How do you put this together?
Absolutely. I mean, the content, some of the case studies are going to be around the industry in particular, but we have drawn inspiration from so many other fields that this content is really applicable to anyone, anywhere. There's even a minister that's coming. There's a Cal Poly rodeo coaching. Their entire program is coming. Of course, there's the usual suspects like the wineries and executive directors in our market. But this content is really, it's tried and true for anything from sports to athletics and education to training and growing in business. So it's really for anyone who wants to get better at what they're doing. But it is definitely, since we are wine heavy in our local economy, that's the majority of the attendees.
Now, you've got Bear Pascoe, former NFLer, breaking down really that championship mindset. I think this is so cool. Not your average conference speaker, right? Now, I'm curious, like, what does bringing someone like Bear into this space say about the kind of performance you expect from your attendees? I mean, what are you hoping gets cracked open in us?
Well, it's so fun because Super Bowl is on everybody's mind right now. And so for me, I draw inspiration and always have from excellence in any field, whether that is someone who's an incredible teacher at the elementary school level, or the best athlete in the world, or someone who developed some amazing project or program that helps solve a lot of problems. And I think that often in industries, especially like agriculture and wine, we often look to each other for inspiration. And I believe that we will learn more from looking around than simply looking at within. So if you know Bear's story, which is absolutely fantastic, he came from a small ranching community. Hard work and dedication are what set him, on the path to success. He played almost twice the amount of anyone in his position in the NFL for a total of 7 years, won a Super Bowl. And, the story of, if you think it's competitive in the wine industry, go try professional football.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
that level of commitment. So not only like your mind, but your body, like it's hugely intense. And so he's got this fantastic process that he goes through, and it's called the 4 Ps. And it's it's all about the process. And what do you do when things don't go right? And what's your mindset every day? And surrounding yourself with great people. And so I like to say it's like same recipe, different dish. If you apply those same principles in anything that you do, whether it's being the best MC there is, or, break down, I mean, you fill in the blank, then you will do well. And I think from our perspective as a wine industry, that we need to remember every detail matters. And so, a lot of people right now in our community rely on direct to consumer traffic. And oftentimes when you visit those tasting rooms, not every detail is as perfect as it could be with the staff. So it's like bringing an entire team on board to help you achieve that greater goal is so critical. And that's where the people who are doing it are going to be making the most margin. They're going to have the biggest impact on their customers, and they can be set up for success long term.
Yeah, we talk about a 90% success rate. How do you define success in this room? And what's the result from maybe even past drive experiences that maybe even you didn't see coming?
It's amazing. So, Adam, what we do every year is we go through this really cool process where people are taking a deep look at where they're at right now, like a self-evaluation. What do I want to work on? What's going incredibly well? Where areas do I feel like I'm underperforming? Do I even care that I'm underperforming? Maybe I want to focus more on the things I'm doing well. So we do an internal audit. And then we ask everyone, like, why the heck did you come here? Be honest. What do you want to achieve? And through this process of writing things down, you start to crystallize your ideas. And it's like over 50% of what you write down, if it's a goal, you have 50% more likely to achieve it. Now, Adam, when you write it down, and then part of the process is going through and creating steps, like who can help me solve that? When should I have that done by? What else could I do? What skill do I need to develop? You start writing these actionable steps that you can take to achieve it, associating deadlines. And it's like, it's magic. And then tell someone. So when you're writing, creating a process, and then verbalizing, the chances for success, as long as you follow through, but it's so much easier if you have a plan. So it's like 90% of the time, if you write it down, tell someone, you're going to be successful. And the proof is that people keep coming back again and again. And in fact, one person who that is absolutely incredible put on her form, like, I just want to feel the way I felt last year when I left.
Yeah.
So it's not just a sit and get, it's, energy, it's honesty. And that's what we need more of. So I'm excited to have it at Hotel Ava. That place is amazing.
Yeah, beautiful.
And hopefully give some people some hope and excitement that there's so much good in this world, even though, we may be dealing with a market that's hitting a few bumps. We can really create a plan and move forward.
Now, let's talk about wine specifically, because markets all over are hitting bumps, but wine is definitely seeing something right now, whether we call it a correction, and for whatever reason. I mean, you ask 10 different people, you get 11 different answers, whether it's shifting consumer trends, is it Gen Z, GLP-1s, cannabis. I mean, there's a million different things that people can be kind of peeling the layers back to what things are, where things are heading and the way things are going. But Paso is still Paso, and this area is still this area. People are choosing this life, and even in wine, this area outperforms the state of California and other well-known wine regions that have been around even longer than we have. In your view, what is the real state of the wine industry right now, especially here in SoCal, in Paso? And what's true that maybe headlines might be missing?
Well, anytime we're in a market like this, there's going to be incredible opportunity. And the opportunity is all around us. Some people will be victims or will not seize it. And there will be winners. all of those things that you said are true. Maybe consumption is down because of Gen Z and millennials habits. Certainly in agriculture, we've seen an overplanting. This is pretty typical with from commodity perspective.
Yeah.
And because of the length of time that it takes for a vineyard to fully mature, it's quite a bit of a process. So there's a number of things that kind of happened all at once. And I also think that the wine industry really needs to put the consumer first. So often we are artists, we are growers, we care about the crops that we produce and the products that we make. And sometimes we forget, like, what does the customer actually really want? What are they responding to? And the people who are going to do well aren't probably thinking about their businesses saying, we're just going to continue to do it the way we've always done. They're going to refocus and maybe take a new approach on how they invite customers into their winery. They're going to rethink about the products they're producing. And it's really a time for opportunity. There's always winners or losers, but I feel pretty optimistic. And I think that also the next generation is perfectly poised to fall in love with the wine industry if we can just message ourselves correctly as a product that has soul, comes from the earth, is a huge economic driver for many of rural communities. So it's just about kind of repositioning and putting the customer first and looking at the market backwards. And the customer doesn't care how much it costs you to make your product. They only care about how much it costs them to buy it. And that's something that we forget.
Yeah, that's great. That's a really great point. I was talking to Felicity Carter one time, and the premiumization is something that she brought up, that she's like, folks are going to have to, some of the reason people are getting shaken out in this correction is because of the lack of willing to understand that. You talk about the next generation. You've helped lift and really given that ladder up, especially to young women with your Dream Big, Darling organization. You've also worked with CEOs, from cellar rats, tasting room hosts. So the full spectrum of wine careers. And even with the changes, wine remains one of the most, at least here, a stable and rewarding industry to build a life in. What is it about wine and this area, this business, this culture, that still makes it one of the best jobs someone can find here in SoCal?
Absolutely, Adam. Agriculture is my heartbeat, and wine for me is a sense of place. It's people, it's that year, and then it's the land that it comes from. So without getting too sentimental, like, if you're looking for a career that offers great meaning, the wine industry is amazing. It also is very celebratory. So you're creating community everywhere you go. So whether you're on the sales side, the marketing side, the production side, like, you're either caring for the earth or you're caring for customers that you are interfacing with and helping them create memories. I could never work in a doctor's office because we see sick people all day.
Right.
Wine industry, it's always a celebration, and we have something to look forward to with the next vintage or a new place to try. And I know you've spent time in France, and the tradition of wine and culture is pretty special, and especially with regard to food and how pairing it makes just eating or everyday life more interesting and enjoyable. So it's a total win of a career, and I'm excited for the next generation to get involved because I think they're going to bring new ideas and more routes to market than maybe we can even imagine right now.
Yeah, I want folks to check out the links in the show notes to drive Amanda Wittstrom Higgins Full Cup Solutions. We got all the links you need to get into this event, which is this Wednesday. Also, to learn more about Amanda, what she can do for you and your business. I always love your insight, and just always love conversing with you. It's just always so edifying. It's awesome. So thanks for taking the time to chat with me, Amanda. Thanks for being Up and Adam.
All right.
Some say life's where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only the stars
right, big thanks, Amanda Wittstrom Higgins. Get all the links for Dream Big Darling, which does some great work for local young women. Full Cup Solutions if you want to dig deep. And then for Drive, to get the event, the tickets for Wednesday, go to the link in the show notes. You can't miss it. All right? Take a few hours on Wednesday. Get up there and check it out. All right. Wow. Lots going on for a Monday. Thanks to our friends at Blue Shutter Collective for original music on this show called Start Again. To you for rating, reviewing, subscribing to this podcast wherever you listen to it. It means an absolute ton. I also want to thank our friends Josh and Shiasa Clapper. They're from Tambre Winery. You can taste their wines in the village of Arroyo Grande. Tambre, T-A-M-B-R-E. And Tambre was their name-o, tambrewinery.com. And I thank them for the Tambre Lobro Studios. Yeah. All right, well, I hope you are having a wonderful Monday thus far. I hope you enjoying the beginning of your week. I have a feeling it's going to be a great week for you. I just feel it. So enjoy it. Till tomorrow. Thank you so much for your time. I'm Adam Montiel. Appreciate you connecting. Thanks again for being Up and Adam.